Hi everyone, Draco Prime 220 here, and this has been one hell of a year, and for the past couple days it's been heavy hit after heavy hit. Today we find out that yesterday we lost Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime. Now this video is going to be my top 5 Optimus Prime moments. But first, I am going to say, how I got introduced to Transformers and about Optimus Prime himself. Now, here's the thing. The only Transformers I watched for the longest time... Excuse me, I had a late supper. Was Beast Wars. I never watched Transformers Gen 1 or anything. I had toys like of Grimlock, but it was a blue version of Grimlock. And I had a Blitzwing figure once, a long time ago. Well, that all changed. It's when Walmart was still in Tunkhannock. It was on the other side. Now it's the Walmart Supercenter on the left side where it is now. Me and my mom, we went in there, and I was planning on getting Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for PS2. They did not have it. But this one game that got my attention, the image was really good. Like, it had two robots staring at each other, and it said Transformers. Not wanting to go home empty-handed, I asked my mom if she could buy it for me. Well, I accidentally forgot it in the car. I fell asleep in the car. Later that night, I played it. I fell in love with the game. I found the concept of a robot becoming a car or a vehicle or military vehicle being basically in plain sight was something really cool, and I liked driving around, that you could transform at will, pretty much. And then I saw this big red robot, and I heard the voice. I was like, Optimus, when he says, "My name is Optimus Prime, and we need your help." I'm like, that is a very powerful voice. And I even said to my mom, woke up in the middle of the night and said, "Vinny, you're still playing that game?" And I said, "Yeah, this big robot here, he has such an amazing voice." And Mom kind of looked at me kind of curious. Well, I loved the game. I played both the Autobot and Decepticon campaign. Well, I then saw them. Afterwards, I saw the movie. I actually bought it. I started again to a Transformers craze. And I bought the movie on DVD, the first 2007 film. That was my official film introduction to Transformers. Well, when I saw Optimus Prime transform in front of Sam and Michaela, and then he looked amazing. He looked so majestic. Like, you have the light shining behind him to give him that otherworldly presence. Then he got down on his one knee, got on their level, and then he spoke and said, "Are you Samuel James Witwicky, son of Archibald Witwicky?" And then he says his name. "My name is Optimus Prime. We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron." That voice, you would think with something that big, with a deep voice, would be intimidating and scary, would be a villain. But no. There was this presence that I felt. I felt this commanding, yet gentleness to it, to the voice. I know a lot of people have said Optimus Prime in the movies is a psychopath, and he's this very mean character. I made a video character critique about him, so if you're curious, it's on my channel. But the voice, there was just something so calming about the voice, and it felt encouraging, it felt reassuring. And then I saw Revenge of the Fallen. That, oh boy. I will admit, when when that I saw the fight, the forest battle in Revenge of the Fallen is by far my favorite of Transformer battles, and it just showed how powerful Prime was. If words or diplomatic solutions will not stop the perpetual conflict, he's gonna get hands on, and he does it. He shows it, and he's amazing. The fight was amazing. But now keep in mind, I saw this for the first time. And when he died, I know now, since I've seen the movie more than once, he comes back. But when I saw it for the first time, and he died, I cried. I instantly, I couldn't, like, my mouth opened, and I started crying, instant tears, and I'm like, I cried. I actually paused the movie and I walked away because I'm like, they just didn't kill him off. Later, I found out he has a bad habit of dying, in the movies, but he always comes back. Damn it. Well, then I saw Dark of the Moon. Still, I enjoyed Peter Cullen's presence as Optimus. He still had this commanding yet presence. But then I saw Transformers Prime, one of my favorite Transformer shows. One of my favorites. Transformers Prime is the best in my eyes. The two best is Transformers the Animated Series and Transformers Prime. And I love the designs. Frank Welker returns as Megatron. And it was a really good show, and I do know they were thinking of a fourth season or something to involve this pirate Transformer that looks like a, oh my goodness, it's Startron or something. He's a pirate. He looks like a pirate, and he transforms into a lion, like a peg-legged lion or something. Like, that's what I heard from one of the, I think it was a comedian Cam or the Random Black Gamer, I think I heard it from, or the Fire Brothers. You should check those channels out. They are really good. I don't know. But I remember they were going to do a fourth season about that. And I think that would have been kind of cool. But I gotta say, the 3 seasons we got, Peter Cullen, once again, nailed it. And then I saw Gen 1, and I could see why he awed so many generations. I could see why. But then I had a VHS player, and I actually got the VHS version of Transformers the movie. Yeah, I could see why it broke a lot of people's hearts. And the fact is that he dies so early on in the film. It's not even half an hour. I think it's like not even an hour in, like half an hour, I believe, 20 minutes, and he's dead. But I could see how hard it hit. And now that we got this 40th anniversary apology tour, and there's going to be like a little add-on epilogue or something, where I seen the trailer where Optimus Prime's, he's lifeless, he's in space, and then you see like his finger twitch a little bit. If it comes to my theater, I will be going to see it in theaters. If I can, okay? I can't make no promises, but I will be going to see it if I can. If it comes to my theater. I don't know if it will, but if it does, I will go and see it. I'm doing it for Peter Cullen, and bottom line, I'm not going to get too in-depth, but I was going through a lot of rough stuff. My mom wasn't doing the greatest. We had to end up moving. Then she passed. Then my father passed. Then I lost my Uncle Ray. And Mom was not doing the best before she passed either. She was, there were some issues, and that's all I'll say. Nothing too deep. And Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime gave me that glimmer of hope, that strength to keep going. No matter how much life hits you, you know, you gotta be strong. You know, it's not easy. Prime gave me the strength to just keep going, despite how I was feeling, how angry or hurt I was. Peter Cullen's Optimus helped me out through a lot. Look, I always wanted to meet him. I actually wanted to, but due to finances and then having to move, I didn't get the chance. I don't know if his family will ever see this video. I doubt it. I know they got other things they gotta do. But if there's by some chance they see this video, from me to him to his family, thank you. Thank you for... he doesn't know me, but... thank you for helping me. Thank you. No words can say how thankful I am that Peter Cullen helped me out through such tough times. I can't thank him enough. I wish I could thank him. If I'm crying, look, if you think I'm being a baby, if you think it's just a voice actor, you know, oh well, that's your opinion, you're entitled to it. But you're not truly human if you don't show your emotions. Okay, so if anyone has a problem with me crying, oh well, either get off my channel or get over it. But if those who stick around and who understand, I can't thank you enough. But, thank you, Peter Cullen. Was hoping to see one more round with you. You know, see you in one more movie, but you deserve to rest. And you've done so much for us. I will always forever believe in when you say, be strong enough to be gentle. I will try my best to live by that example. Ugh. Man, this year sucks. Okay, I know we're 13 minutes in, a little bit over 13 minutes into the video, but here are my top 5 Optimus Prime moments. This is for you, Peter Cullen. This is for your family. And this is for all that you've done for all of us. Thank you. Number 5 would be the, now keep in mind, this is my top 5. I'm going to try and add in some, you know, not all action scenes or something like that, but even like this big, small scenes, like, sometimes the little things can matter the most. My first thing, my number 5 is the forest battle in Revenge of the Fallen. Optimus Prime, you know, shows why he is Prime. Not just his words, but when words fail, actions kick in, and that's when you should really decide to turn tail and run. And the fact is that Optimus shown, you know, how much more of a leader he was than Megatron. Look, I know there are some Megatron fans out there. There's a lot. I like Megatron. I actually like Megatron, but here, Megatron was just being a wuss. When he knew he was getting overwhelmed by Optimus, he instantly called in help. But Optimus Prime didn't. He took all 3 of them on. On top of that, the beating he got, like, he gets, like, his face plate, his battle mask kicked off. He gets smashed into a tree. I know the first comes before the other, I know. And then he gets peppered by Starscream's machine gun and 2 missiles. Then Megatron charges up his fusion cannon and sends him flying into the ground. And you would think that would be it for Optimus. You would think he's gonna either retreat or he's gonna try and no. He stands his ground to protect Sam, and then he says the iconic, "You'll never stop at one. I'll take you all on." He pulls out both his blades and his hooks. He messes up everyone. He takes Starscream's arm, beats him with his own arm, kills Grinder and saying, waste of tin. And I like that Optimus Prime said to Megatron, "junkyard crap." He was talking shit on Megatron. Yeah, I love that. I don't know why, but hearing Peter Cullen as Optimus saying "junkyard crap," I don't know. That was when I heard that, I'm like, ooh. He's not only gonna beat Megatron physically, he's gonna just tear him down with words, trash talking him. But of course, the ending of the fight, and the fact is that Optimus, his first thing was to make sure Sam was okay, because he's like, "Sam, where are you?" And of course, Megatron takes that as opportunity to literally stab him in the back, but you would think, oh, he's just going to stab him and that's it. No, Megatron does overkill. He shoots him while he's still impaled on his blade. And then Optimus Prime notices Sam and says, "Sam, run," and he dies. That's why it's number 5, because the fight, I thought Prime was gonna, he was gonna be banged up, he was gonna be messed up, but I thought he was gonna walk away from this alive. The upside of this is that he does come back. And the first thing he says to Sam is, "Boy, you returned for me." And you can hear I know Optimus Prime doesn't really show a lot of happiness, but you could hear how he's touched by Sam coming back for him to bring him back. I just think that was a very nice touch. Get it? Yep, got the touch. My second, number 4. Number 4 is something very small. Actually, it's 2 little scenes in one. It's from One Shall Rise, from Transformers Prime Season 1, where Optimus, actually, scratch that. It's 3 little scenes. First in One Shall Fall, One Shall Rise, and in the one with the scraplets. One Shall Fall is when we know Raph gets fatally injured by Megatron, and Optimus Prime, the thing is I noticed is that when he goes to fight Megatron, basically taking an innocent child's life. See, Autobots are soldiers. They pretty much know what's going to happen. There is always that everyday possibility they're going to die. But for Megatron to literally hurt a child, I'm like, yeah, that was it for Optimus. And I think he expressed his anger through the bout, because there are points where he's just yelling at Megatron. And I gotta say, Frank Welker saying, "Aha, seems I swatted a bee and squashed a bug." I'm like, oh, Megatron, you asshole. Ooh. Oh my god, Megatron was just savage and heartless in that. And I think that's why I like Frank Welker's Transformers Prime Megatron a lot. And of course, it does lead to the big fight between him and Optimus, and I was really thinking Optimus was going to kill Megatron, but of course, due to Dark Energon bursting from the volcano, Megatron gets powered up and kicks Prime's ass. Now, in the next episode, the one little scene, One Shall Rise, is when Optimus Prime is brought back, and he's very weakened by the overexposure of Dark Energon, and June is he could have gotten hurt, and I like it how they did not paint her as a villain, or she's a nurse. She understands this is okay, if the Autobots are there to protect you, it's one thing, but this was just the kids are now in danger, and she wants to take all the kids, including her son Jack. And Optimus Prime, now keep in mind, he's just gotten his bumper handed to him by Megatron, and he's getting up and limping, and even RC and Bulkhead are trying to reach out for him because he's limping, and he says, "June, it deeply grieves me that I have failed, but I will do whatever it is in my power to make sure no harm comes to our human friends or any human ever again. And you could see their sadness, like, it's without him saying it, he's like saying, please, don't take our friends away. They are our friends. They are our friends, you know. He doesn't say it, but you could see in his face, his body language, it's almost like, without saying it, he's saying, just don't take them away. Now, this little other scene, I think it was just adorable. Scraplets, where the Scraplets are found frozen in the big capsule, and they are brought, and Optimus Prime says to Raphael, he wants to go with him to the Arctic, and he's like, even you wouldn't make it. It's even dangerous for us Autobots. And before they go through the space bridge, he says, but I will bring you a snowball. I don't know why, but that was sweet. I'm like, they didn't have to do that. They didn't. They didn't have to do that. But they did, and I love it. I love that they added these little moments with Optimus Prime showing this gentleness, this loving nature. And that's what I loved about Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime, is that he can be loving. He's like a father figure. Now, number 3. It's another Transformers Prime scene. It is actually after the pilot, the 4 or 5 part pilot, Darkness Rising, I believe. It's where Miko and all the kids, like, after their big fight with destroying the space bridge to keep the Terracons from coming through, and it blows up. Optimus Prime, you know, they're all, like, talking about, did Megatron survive or not? And then Miko says, so is this the part where we gotta say goodbye and tell us we never saw you? And all Prime does is he's staring. He's looking down, but you don't see anger. You see this, like, without him saying it, no. And, like, under the mask, I think he was giving a small smile. And he's like, then it leads to the ending monologue where he says, we vow to protect this world and our home, and that we are taking comfort, we Autobots take comfort in the friendships we make, especially with our 3 young human friends. True warriors, not in body, but in spirit. I like that because it shows that Optimus Prime, whether you're big or small, he sees that you have the potential to be good, the value, the valor, be more. That it doesn't matter who you are, you can make a difference. Whether you are a Titanic Cybertronian or a normal-sized human being. I like that. And that's number 3. But number 2 is actually in The Secret of Omega Supreme. Now, Omega Supreme has justified anger towards the Constructicons. And Optimus Prime goes and wants to get his help because the Constructicons are finding this meteorite. Unknowing to them, there is a living organism inside it that's the creature's food. Omega Supreme goes up there. He tells the story of why he is the way he is, and he has such anger to them. And Omega Supreme wants to kill. He easily attacks Devastator and tosses him like a freaking ragdoll into a side of a mountain and starts blasting him, burying him. And Optimus Prime shows up and says, stop, we need your help. That meteorite is the creature's food. And then Omega Supreme's like, he said, he knows as they're getting away. He's like, they escape. And then he's like, this is more important than revenge. And I'm like, oh my god, he's a Titan-class Autobot. He's freaking huge. And you're gonna, I'm like, I was impressed, but I'm like, Optimus, he's not in the best of moods right now for your... I'm worried for you, bud. Just don't go. But, like, he's like, Prime, move. And he's like, you caused the creature to hatch. It's all happening again. Are you going to do the right thing or think of something as useless as revenge? And that was a good lesson. Because revenge is a disease, in my opinion. You know... Revenge may be like, I got my payback. Because, yeah, revenge at first feels good. You got even. You got, you know, you got the bad guy. You got them to go. That's what it feels like. But then you're like, it's, you feel, maybe you feel like maybe it wasn't enough revenge. Maybe you could have done more, or you get that feeling of regret, like maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then it's a good lesson about how there are better things to value than vengeance, because vengeance will only in turn destroy you. And at the very end, we see Optimus Prime and Omega Supreme talking on the bridge and saying, I'm sorry how the Constructicons changed you. I hope someday you'll feel more than just anger and revenge. And then you see Omega Supreme tearing up, and he's like, possibility growing. I liked it. I liked that Prime understood, but he made Omega Supreme realize there was more things to this than just revenge. And was like, reaching out to him saying, I hope you can feel more than that. And you can see the tear in Omega Supreme's eye, like, it's a possibility, it's growing. And that was such a sweet way to end the episode. And let me think. I did Forest Battle, did the 3 little bits in 1, 4. 3 was the ending monologue of Darkness Rising, Omega Supreme. Now I would have to say my number 1. Number 1. I don't know. I think number 1 would be, as silly as this is going to sound, I know this may sound weird, but Optimus Prime, the last time we see Optimus, Peter Cullen's Optimus, he's smiling. It's very rare we see Prime smile. I know that's going to be like a weird number 1, but I was hesitant to say because I don't know how people are going to react to this, but this is my top 5. But whenever I seen Prime smile, it always left a reassurance, like everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. He's got your back. He's someone you can look up to, talk to. If you keep noticing, I keep turning that way because my cats are in the kitchen eating and they're shaking their collars. I'd have to say number 1 is Prime smiling, because that is the last time that Peter Cullen played Optimus, and that's pretty much where we leave off with him. And that is Spyro. If you saw him, that's my little fur ball of mischief. It would be Optimus Prime smiling, because, like I said, it's very rare you see Prime smile. Very rare. Couple times. I'd say maybe 3. I'd say maybe a handful of times he smiled in Transformers Prime. I think. Maybe more. But that smile is something that I don't think I'll ever forget. When you're down and you're miserable, I'm just going to think about that smile. That reassuring smile that's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be alright. And, that smile is going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'll always think about it when, life is hitting me hard, or I'm down, I'm out. I will think of that. That is my number 1. If that's not the number 1 you were thinking, 1, I'm trying to be different, and 2, this is my personal top 5. I'm not just trying to focus on the action side of Optimus, because Optimus Prime was not just action. He was wisdom. He was kindness, reassurance, what embodies what a leader should be. And Peter Cullen was a very nice human being. I never met him, but I've seen videos of how a good man he was, and how his brother inspired him for the voice of Optimus. That's my number 1, him smiling at the end of Rise of the Beasts. I know some people don't like Rise of the Beasts. I get it. But I'm hoping, now, I'm not telling you to, but I'm just hoping that maybe people will like it a little bit more. Just a little bit. Hoping. I'm not telling, I'm hoping. But that is my top 5 Optimus Prime moments. Maybe it's not the top 5 you expected, but that's my top 5. So I really hope you enjoy this video. And if you want more, please like and subscribe. And also help my channel continue to grow. And we'll miss you, Peter Cullen. We won't forget you. You're always here. But it's been one hell of a ride with you. Thank you for everything. And I know words can't say enough, but that's all I can say is thank you. And I offer my condolences to his family, to his friends. I really hope and pray Frank Welker's doing okay. I hope the best for him. Mr. Welker, please stay strong. Just remember, everyone, be strong enough to be gentle. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Till that day, till all are one. And hold on to your dreams. The world is built on dreams. Keep dreaming. Well, good night, everyone. This is Draco Prime 220, signing off. Bye.